my, she got me crying already, and most of you have seen me cry. Like, every time I speak, I have to cry a little bit. But yesterday I was speaking at something, and someone handed me Kleenexes, and I'm like, don't worry, I don't get squeaky when I cry. I just keep moving. I just keep moving forward. So I'm going to attempt to stay at the podium, which is a first for me. I don't know. I've spoken at some graduations and things where I've had to stay put, but I'm going to attempt. But I have a backup mic here if I need to wander. So, oh my gosh, it is just breathtaking for me to see all of you that are engaged in being advocates, leaders in this work. It is just such an honor to be here and to see you. And even though the data are hard, there's some celebrating to do. This is a 7-year movement. We launched last year. There's been a lot of work by a lot of people this first year, and this, as of today, we're moving forward on year 2. So I've titled this Celebrating Year 1 and Looking Ahead. Now, some of you that are in the Boulder Way Forward leadership have seen this slide. The metaphor I use is that we are building the bridge. We have the wheel. Most of you know the wheel, so I have 2 metaphors going. Right now, it's about we're building the bridge as we're walking on it, right? And so we don't have all the answers. We're just like seeing slats out there. And right now, we can see a few more slats than we did last year because we've laid more slats down. Now, I love this picture of this bridge. It has handrails, and I'll tell you in just a second. So think about bridges, and I've got a few other bridge pictures. Sometimes I think our bridge of this work in the state of Utah is a little slippery. We can slide, we can hit the edges. Hopefully we won't go off into the frozen river, but this work can move us around. It's shifting. So think about that visual. Think about this one. Sometimes we have been like hanging out, each of us doing our own thing and not connecting to things. And look at this. Yeah, I mean, it's a little rickety, but the Boulder Way Forward is trying to build the connections between things. This one made me smile. So think about this. Sometimes as we're crossing the bridge, we have like these still sides. Are you following the metaphor, everybody? Yeah, okay. Like barriers on the side and barriers on the top, right? It's not a glass ceiling. This is like a steel ceiling. I mean, you can see up through it. Can you see the holes? You can see a little bit up through it. But, and if something's on this, there's just enough room for one. Right? So think of the metaphors, a few more for you. I really like this one. This bridge has been solid for a long time. If you get thrown over, you're going to have issues. But what I love about this one is that if we will look up, can you see the beauty? And that's what we have to do. We need to secure the bridge, keep moving forward. But remember, and a couple of my friends here today have reminded me that, put your head up and seize the beauty coming along the way. And I have to say, this is the bridge that I have put up mostly this year. This is what it feels like this year. Can I just say it? So we have made it across this first year. I don't feel like we've had handrails, but we're balancing, we're moving, we've made that, we're gonna have a different bridge, we're gonna start putting up the handrails, and so all kinds of things. I'm thinking about this next year. This is a firm bridge, but some good water and crashing coming around us sometimes. And we can look up and maybe there's a pretty bridge. But overall, the one at the bottom, I'm like, sometimes people say, well, this shouldn't be too hard to change things in Utah. I've had a few people actually say that. It's not a hop, skip, and a jump, okay? That was what the other picture. But what I want to talk about today is we need to celebrate. We need to celebrate the wins for this year. And that's what I hope to do. in the few minutes that I have, and we have some awesome things after me, but we want to make sure we get done at 11 and on to our breakout sessions. So just a few slides to remind. We're not going to go through the whole Boulder Way Forward today. I'm doing good staying behind this podium, so I think I'm going to make it. As you know, national and statewide studies continue to show that girls and women in Utah are not thriving in critical areas. And the Boulder Way Forward says if we're serious about changing things, and you are here because you are serious about this, and you want to engage in the work. I've given a number of speeches this week, and I've had a couple of questions like, do you really think that we can change all this stuff? Because this is hard. And I'm saying, how can we not lean in? If we love our daughters and granddaughters, if we love our neighbors and friends, if we, 1 in 7 kids is sexually assaulted in this state. We're 9th worst in sexual assault and rape. That is unacceptable. I will tell you, can you feel it is unacceptable. We have to have a state where more girls and women and their families feel safe. We have to do more. Oh. Woo! So if we're serious, and we are, and you are, we need to create change much faster. So last year when we had our launch, we said it's a 7-year movement. Oh my, it's been a lot of work for a lot of us this first year. So we have 6 years. We've been laying the foundation. I want to take a few minutes and just run through some things that have happened. But as you know, if you've watched the video or heard me speak, or someone else that was really inspired by this particular book, and really it is around, and I'm not going to read all of these, the systems thinking. We've been doing pieces and parts. We're great at pieces and parts in this state, but the needle's not moving in most areas. In a few areas, things are moving, needle's not moving, and we have to kick things into gear. We're great at pieces and parts, like I said, and now this movement is helping us move together as a system. And you know this model if you're here, all of those areas that are listed on all of our pull-ups as well. And so thinking about that is the Boulder Way Forward, helping more girls and women thrive. And I will say, as was said, I don't remember, it's the Lieutenant Governor or Nubia, that used that word historic. This really is historic. No other state is doing this, and I've had many states actually hear about it and reach out. I'm like, just give me a year, just give us a little time. We're laying the foundation, putting more slats on, right? And then, as I envision this next year, there are some things that are going to shift and start moving as we continue to be more strategic. Okay, here we go. I'm going to have to put my glasses on. There we go. So I'm going to run through some elements to just let you see what's been done. So before our 1 year, these are some things that were done. Conceptualized framework, gathered initial concept support, started bringing in partners, secured foundational legislative funding, and have to give a shout out, he's not here today, to Scott Anderson and Science Bank for all of their work in actually going to bat for us and getting that funding. So yes, thank you. We engaged initial spoke leaders at that time, launched the website, started inviting champions, began securing impact team leaders, and then started hiring and training staff. I had a few positions. We were able to get a couple of more. And so Colleen, Melinda, Bree, if you're listening in, stand up real quick. Deborah, Kylie, and Amy, they're probably over at the tables still getting people in. But any of you here? Anybody? Oh, there's a few in the back. Oh, there's people. Anyway, thank you so much. Okay, and then here is, so lots of pieces, not everything, just some key things. And so I want to report, let's celebrate for year 1. And then I just have a few slides at the end for the next year in terms of some key goals. So we had the launch a year ago. continued to secure spoke leaders, continued to gather partners, and we have not even opened the floodgates yet. We're just getting the foundational partners in and so forth, and it's between 200, 300 partners, over a couple thousand people engaged already, but we need, I've got to get a number in my head, but I don't know, one that comes up, I don't know, I think we can do it, yeah. Oh, think? We can do it. About 10,000 people engaged by the end of next year, and then it's going to duplicate. Continued to secure impact team leaders, started hiring and training spoke coordinators. So we didn't know this at first, but we needed a paid contract spoke coordinator for all 18 spokes to make this work. So moved forward with that, began developing spoke outcomes, bold goals and metrics. And can I just say, oh my crap, that has been a lot of work. That's probably not the best word. I don't swear, but crap and sucks just come out of my mouth sometimes. So that has been a lot of work for a lot of people because we don't have a lot of outcomes. We have a lot of outputs, like how many people show up. But that's taken a lot of time for a lot of work. We're getting so close. And then started preparing for a fall survey and began creating and convening committees. So real quick on this, and if you're in the room, please stand and be recognized. We have a couple of committees, well, 4. Mikkel, Bill, Nubia, Gina, Sid, and myself for Executive Impact Committee. We have a Research Strategy Committee, Jason from Envision Utah, Jennifer from Gardner Institute, Sean from the Utah Foundation, and Colleen on my team. Also an Executive Communications Committee, Jeanette, Carrie, Judy, Maria, Ruth, Julie, Jennifer, and Melinda. And then finally, Piper on the Public Relations Committee, Piper, Tiffany, Patricia, Sarah, Callie, Sonita, I need to turn this a little bit more, there we go. Melanie, Cynthia are on that team. And so after we did the committees, then we started forming county coalitions. This is a big deal. And I'll give you the punchline in just a minute. We started, there's 29 counties. I should have asked that question. How many counties are there in Utah? 29, here we go. If we're gonna change things like the abuse that we talked about, the violence, it has to get down to communities and schools and neighborhoods and families. And so these have been really, really important. Amy on my team and Deborah have done so much great work here. So collected data and the first fall survey, which has been really important for our metrics. And then we created an initial funding strategy. And I want to pause right there just for a minute. I have always hated raising money. Can I just say that? I hate it. I have hated it. I'm learning to appreciate it more. I'm learning and growing all the time in this area, and I have to say that I've had a couple of people, Jackie Zahner, who I think is here in the room, and Jennifer Smith, and others who have helped and coached me. What I have realized and what I have been taught is that we do so much as women without any money. And we sacrifice and we push forward and we do our best. But Jackie has been, and she's got a summit tonight and tomorrow, has really helped secure in my mind that this work will not continue forward in the way that we need it to, right? We can work, we can do things, unless significant funding starts flooding into Utah for the Boulder Way Forward, for the partners, but also any nonprofit organization in the state of Utah that's doing things for girls and women. We must, and there's a lot of giving in Utah. And Jackie and I have been talking on her team and trying to get that number, that how much of the funding is really related to girls and women stuff, and it's pretty small. And so of the big amount of funding, how do we move forward to get the funding needed to really move things in ways that need to? We must increase this. And for all the pieces, for counties, for all the work in the spokes and so forth. So that's really important. We've released key organizing documents, expanded communication reach, launched a newsletter. So many people have been engaged in all of these things, and the spokes have started holding spoke convenings, and I love it because I'm not at most of them, and I love that they go on and I don't need to be there. And they finished initial bold goals for spokes and then released 21 research reports. This is what they have looked like. And then last slide in this, well, not last slide, but the 26, recorded spoke informational podcasts, expanded the social media, and created metric dashboards. And we're still just finishing the last of those, but we do have dashboards now that will be updated every year on the goals that are set. And that's going to be important for us to think about where are we at in the progress. And then we held 18 spoke 2-hour think tanks on societal change, and I'm just grateful that Dr. Emily Gregory is here, because we're using, she'll just have a quick presentation after I finish on this societal change in the format of crucial influence. And then we started creating campus collaboratives. I wanted to show that. Those are just some of the think tanks that we've had. And then started creating campus collaboratives. And then last Friday, we were in Rich County up in Bear Lake. That was our 29th county coalition. That's huge. So if any of these people happen to be here, the people in these coalitions, some of them are just starting to be formed. I know there's a lot online that are joining from different counties. Please stand up so we can recognize. We'll clap at the end. So I'm not going to read all the names. I'm looking at the time, and our time is moving along pretty fast. But I want you to have a chance to just look at names. So Beaver County, awesome community group there. I absolutely loved being there. Anybody here from Beaver County? Nope? Okay, just pop up and go, woo, if you're here. Maybe, oh, wait, stand up. Woo, there you go. There you go. Okay. Box Elder County Coalition. Anybody here from Box Elder? Okay, stand. Yeah, woo, let people, woo. Okay, we'll clap, everyone. We'll move fast. Okay. Here we go. Cache County Coalition. Do we have leads or community? We got a couple in the back. Carbon County Coalition. Anybody here? Well, lots will be on. Oh, good. Awesome. Daggett County. Oh, there's only 900 people who live in the whole county. So we met with 8 of them, though. That's a good percentage. So that's still, we've got a few people that are teetering with the leadership of that. And then Davis County, I saw a few of you. Where are you? Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, good. And Duchesne. Anybody from Duchesne? It's a kind of a hike to get over here. Okay, great. Emory, oh, yeah, okay. I love it. Garfield County, this was just last month. Anybody here from Garfield? They're probably online. We have, I expect from all 29 counties, we've got someone either in the room or online. Grand County, anybody here? No? Okay, yeah, good. Do you know where all these counties are? Okay. Iron County, which is Cedar City area. Anybody here from Iron? No, I can't really see well with reading. Oh, wait, oh my gosh, there are, come on. Yeah. Juab County, that was just last month. Anybody here? No, you're not claiming us. Okay, Kane County, we were just there like 4 weeks ago. That's Kanab and so forth. I know there's a few on Zoom joining, or on YouTube joining. Millard. Anybody here from Millard? Yeah. Morgan, I was in Morgan 2 weeks ago. Woo, all right, nice. Paiute County, they have 1,200 people and we had 12, so that's 1% of the population. So, Rich County, just last week, so, actually last Friday, so great to be there. And then Salt Lake County Coalition, we have 6 leaders. Anybody here from the leadership? Oh, thank you, Lori. Oh, quite a few, okay. San Juan, we're getting to the end of the alphabet here. San Juan County, anybody here? Just stand up, jump up, I can't, okay. San Pete. Oh, yay, thank you. Sevier County. Yeah, okay. Summit, not too far. Maybe there's some Summit folks in the room. Not seeing anybody pop, but again, we have a lot of people online. Tooele. Let me take off my glasses so I can actually see here. Okay, and Uinta. All right, thank you for, couple. Utah County, I did see a number of, yeah. Oh, yes, nice. Wasatch? Yeah, oh, couple in the back. Oh, quite a few from Wasatch. Washington County. Yeah, oh, thank you for coming all this way. Wayne County. Okay, great. Weber, I've seen a couple of Weber. Yeah, thank you. And that's the end. Oh my gosh, a lot of counties. Oh, wow. Yeah, you know what? I went back and forth. Do I mention all? Yes, we needed to mention. You needed to see that there are people all across the state of Utah who care about strengthening the impact of Utah girls and women and care about doing it in their neighborhoods, in their cities, in their schools. And so as we move out, this will bring in more people to help make the changes that need to be made. Thank you to everybody for all of your work at the county level, at the state level, at all levels. And so back here, we finished, as I said, on 23, the creation of 29 county coalitions. I think we're there, but finishing, and Bree on my team has done so much work on all of this, finished impact team vision, thriving statements, finalized initial team structures of all of the spokes, and then, do you like 26? We're here! I love it! So thank you for lots of pictures and so forth, but as we celebrate, this is the last slide on the celebration, and we thought about having pom-poms. Melinda, yeah, we were like, what do we have? And then, of course, I go back to journals, thoughtfulness, all of that. That's an academic in me, right? But maybe pom-poms next year, so we can celebrate. But can I just say, the work that has gone on, not just by me and my team, but by spoke coordinators, I'm looking at Lainey, by champions, by our spoke leaders who have really, and our impact team leaders, and all the other areas. There's been a lot of work going in, and I feel like it's not gonna, that bridge picture that's, okay, I'm feeling like it's a little steadier now as we move into the next year, right? And so let's celebrate, but let me just give you a couple slides and then I'm about done. In terms of looking ahead. So year one is really about that we built that basic structure and secured the foundation. There's still other work to do. But year two is really about connect and expand. So we're going to, and we're starting this already, but we've built out the various things that you've heard, but we have been so careful not to overwhelm the whole system. This is a big movement. Do you agree? This is big. This is bold. So we've built out the pieces, and this is going to be a big year of, and I do this on Zoom all the time when I'm talking, of connecting the pieces. We've been a bit in silos. We've had to. And now we're going to start connecting impact teams with spokes, county coalitions with impact teams to start really the connections. So connect and align the components, the spokes, impact teams. That's going to be big. This is going to be powerful this year. The county coalitions, campus collaboratives that we've been starting. So really, that is big. I wanted to put this, so each spoke has bold goals. So a bolder way forward spoke goals. So it's not just the spoke and impact teams that are doing the work. You have to get to the grassroots, people on the ground. And so we need to remember, and there will probably be more circles, the county coalitions are a key piece. Impact teams, companies, we haven't even unleashed for companies, but we're going to do that very soon. Companies and other organizations, campus collaboratives, women's groups, we've already started in that area, cities, towns, and counties. So that's how we're going to get the work done. And so that, again, looking ahead, number one is connecting and making those relationships. Two more things. Number two, raise awareness of the issues by making collective resources and tools. That means not just UWLP, not just certain people, but we're going out to collectively bring and package things so it doesn't overwhelm. We're starting with videos and things, 3 to 4 minute videos where you can just learn a bit about domestic violence in the state, a little bit about this, and see where your heart really and where your hands need to be. And so that we need to really put together those collective resources and then see. And this might be a surprise to some spoke leaders. We've had a lot of communication, but we're going to activate counties, collaboratives, coalitions, companies, families, individuals, and other entities with 3 key steps for each spoke to move Utah forward in year 2. So there's lots and lots of things that can be done. I've been saying it's not about doing more stuff. It's about doing the right stuff. So really having each spoke figure out what are the things that we can give the counties to do. It's going to be powerful. So year 2 is going to be really an important year. Now, as I finish up, I shared this last year if you were here. And I'm really moved by this Martin Luther King Jr. quote. Every society has its protectors of the status quo and its fraternities of the indifferent who are notorious for sleeping through revolutions. Today, our very survival depends on our ability to stay awake, to adjust to new ideas, to remain vigilant, and to face the challenge of change. We, in the state of Utah, have been sleeping. We, maybe not you in the room, but most of the state around these issues. They're uncomfortable. We don't want to talk about them, but we have to moving forward. We have to wake up ourselves even, and we have to start, I see year 2 being powerful, to start waking up everybody around and helping them understand what the issues are and how we can change. So we need, do you agree with me? We've got to wake things up. Yes, yes, yes. So 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, when Scott Anderson asked me to do a deep report on women's equality and all the metrics, out of 100 points, we were 29, and we were 7 points behind Idaho. And that whole year, I kept saying, if we can just get past Idaho, if we can just get past Idaho, we at least won't be the worst. Well, on that women's equality scale, we may not, on that one, because we're unique in a culture, be number 1. But I will tell you, the thing we can do better than anybody else, and I believe this to my core, of course, is that we can be a national leader in how to transform a state with violence issues, with issues that you know, the research, I can keep pounding on that research, into a state where more girls and women can truly thrive, and that means that our families better thrive, and that means that boys and men thrive. It's not scarcity, it's abundance. So as I conclude, I will tell you thank you so much for being here. Thank you for bringing your head, heart, and hands to this work, because Utah needs each one of us. Not just me, not just Nubia. Nubia's pretty good. She can carry a lot in terms of Nubia. And my friend Sui Lang, who, it's not just us, it is everybody that we need on board. So one of the things that Nubia will tell you in just a minute at the end, actually, is that we're challenging you to grab 10 of the Boulder Way Forward cards, and in the next 2 weeks, make sure you hand those out to start spreading the word. Thank you for all you're doing, and thank you for showing up today and engaging in this work.